ODST. The Hardcast.
It's time for another optically enhanced episode of the Hardcast. I'm your host, Chris, and today I'm joined by Steven.
The man whose night is so Xeno.
And Victor.
The man whose HD is so Victor.
That was pretty good.
Tonight's review/discussion is about the 2009 Xbox 360 exclusive title, Halo 3 ODST, developed by Bungie and published by Microsoft. Players assume the role of the elite human soldiers known as Orbital Drop Shock Troopers. After the alliance of alien races known as the Covenant attack Earth, the player explores the ruined city of New Mombasa to discover what has happened to his missing teammates. So Victor, did ODST manage to shock your little trooper? Or did you end up feeling like you were run over by a warthog?
Your trooper was definitely shocked.
You guys might be thinking, since we finished the fight already, what the fuck are we still doing playing Halo? Well, the answer is easy, man. The fight is over, but, we still need to get into the backstory of it. It else happened behind the scenes or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're going back. I guess this game happened during, Halo 2.
Yeah, it's supposed to be events between Halo 2 and 3, I guess.
So you got your team here of ODSTs. You mostly play as the rookie, which is just some no-name guy. You never see his face, he never talks, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then you got Bug. He's the guy in charge. He's pretty cool. And then the other guys are Mickey, Dutch, Romeo, and then the girl there. And they'll pretty much jump into New Mombasa and they all get separated. So you start as the rookie. And, you just explore the city. It's already nighttime. I guess you were, knocked out for 6-7 hours. You're just waking up in the middle of the night trying to figure out what the fuck happened. So you just go around, trying to find intel, trying to discover clues to what happened to your team. As you find these clues, you get to see these flashbacks 30 minutes after the job, then an hour after the job. You play as all the different characters during, each cutscene, pretty much.
Well, you don't play as Dare, but you play as all the ODST.
Right. Oh, and there's also Sergeant Johnson. He's been in other Halos as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cigar-chomping badass.
The cool thing with all those missions, when you take control of the characters, you actually feel like you're them. Lots of dialogue. You actually speak. Dialogue between the characters. There's one with Romeo and Buck. It's a classic thing. That's you ever get tired of bitching? And the other guy's you ever get tired of busting my balls and stuff like that? So it's funny stuff between the characters. It makes you feel like at least you're there. Because most of the time,
the voice acting is actually quite good.
Playing as the no-name rookie, and you don't get much talking. You're by yourself. But with these guys, you have your whole squad. You're trying to find out what's going on right after the drop. So it gets very passionate. And the characters have to work together, and you have your whole squad. They're all looking for the rookie and stuff. It gets pretty good.
When you get dropped into the different guys, you get to experience things a little bit differently. I mean, the story is a little bit different. Like Steven was saying, the characters are very different from each other, and they all have different weapons, and they're dropped in different areas of the city, and some of the settings are because you go through the game and it's you're as a rookie, it's really dark, and then you start playing as some of the other characters in this bright daylight and on the beach or something, and then you get to drive around and things like that. So it's nice to break up the experience a little bit because you get to play it from different points of view.
Yeah, I did like how you're the rookie and you find the pieces of the mystery. A helmet stuck in glass or a sniper hanging from a wire and stuff like that. You find little clues, and then you see the backstory of how the helmet got stuck to the window, how the sniper just landed on the wire. You see all the pieces fit together. It's pretty good how they did it. It is pretty good. You wake up, Victor said, 6 hours after the drop, while the whole game already happened. Most of the game happened already. You were asleep. You slept through all of it, man. You missed it.
Pretty much.
You missed it. You're just walking around all the debris and destruction. You have no idea.
The rookie is a lazy bitch. He just slept through it all.
He probably just pretended to be sleeping.
Yeah.
He didn't want to deal with it.
He's probably just hanging out in his drop pod playing his PSP Go.
Because it is the future. Yeah, he does have it.
They couldn't show you that because it's Microsoft. They don't want you to show any Sony products. So.
Yeah.
You guys are probably not gonna like playing as the rookie at all because it's a lot slower than the rest of the game. It's really dark. It's impossible to see anything unless you have your visor on. It's very slow. and they play this weird jazzy music or whatever.
The music was very different. It's the guy who did the music is Martin O'Donnell. I actually kind of like the music a little bit, but
I didn't say it was bad. But...
No. It's just it is weird. It is different.
Yeah.
They wanted you to feel like okay, you know, the city is a character almost. Like you're exploring the city and it's dark and there's nothing. It's totally abandoned, and they kind of give that I don't know atmospheric, moody music. It's not like this booming orchestrated stuff like in Halo 3. It's more sort of toned down, more personal, because you're alone a lot. You know, you're wandering around just trying to figure out where to go and you know what happened to your teammate. Kind of very introspective type music. I did want to mention the music. It is very different for the Halo series.
The action scenes is back to normal though. But one thing I also wanted to mention is while you're out exploring the city in the night, you'll come across pieces of intel. If you find them, they're like audio files, but you also get to see kind of still drawing type of things while you listen to the audio files. Yeah. And it's like secondary story. If you find all the intels and you listen, pay attention through all of them, it's actually a pretty decent story.
Yeah, it gets very passionate during those stories. There's more like quality elements in that story than there is in the whole game. All of Halo 3, ODST. From the very beginning, she's talking to Virgil. You know, you'll see all the different elements if you haven't played the game yet. She's talking to the Virgil. It's actually a computer for the entire city. Virgil's been watching her since she was little. Her dad's always away working and stuff like that, and like she depends completely on him.
Virgil can control city lights. He can control cars. He can do a lot of shit in the city. He pretty much controls the whole city.
You see lots, like the character, she is a very powerful character. She's intelligent, she's quick thinking, she'll get the job done. If she gets determined to do something, it's going to get done. She's one of those characters. And she's like, what, 16,
Careful,
17?
Steven, careful. You don't want to fall in love with a make-believe character.
She's very strong-willed, very strong-willed. A lot of people will appreciate her character and all the different other characters, how she influences them. When it comes to the graphics, it looks great for a 360 game, but you've seen so many other titles that just blow graphics out of the water. It still looks clean with fluid animation. The characters walking, reloading your gun, switching weapons, your vehicles. It all looks pretty good, like the shining, the lighting effects, the darkness factor. And when you're on streets in Mombasa, you need the visor. You always get the scan impulses. It like scans the room, and you can see all the different enemies, the red marker, the green marker. So all the graphics, they play in. You look like almost, you can't say Master Chief, but you do look like a Halo character. You are the Orbital Drop Shock Trooper, and you're just working your way through the city. It does look fairly good for a 360 game. It wasn't spectacular, nothing super bad, nothing super good, but it did look great.
It is I would say an upgrade over Halo 3 for sure, but Halo 3 didn't look that good to begin with. I would say the animations are really good, and I enjoyed the cutscenes, the way the people moved, and you could see like the lip syncing was really good too.
I actually felt the animation for the characters were kind of weird.
It was weird. It was cartoony though. I mean, but it was like on purpose.
Yeah, like the movements were very like exaggerated almost.
Yeah, it looked cool though. I mean, it looked cool in the sense of what they were trying to achieve, as far as because it was consistent. They were trying to make it look a little bit different from the actual game, I think.
Yeah, it portrayed it all right. I mean, like I said, it's very fluid. It's not. Yeah, I can see what Victor's saying. Exaggerated. They move like kind of quick, during the cutscenes.
Yeah, I can see like they were trying to give them like more personality. I think more emotion. So you can see them like shrugging their shoulders a lot and like moving their arms a lot and just doing things like you said, over exaggerated. But it was kind of like an animated movie almost.
I guess that was like necessary for the rookie since he never talks anyway. So.
Yeah, but you can also see Buck, and especially when Buck was interacting with Dare, because they have a history together, and there was a lot of like movement with them, and like touching hands and talking and just shrugging shoulders and a lot of facial expressions.
It was fairly good. Anyone who's played Halo will appreciate this type of graphics, and you'll be able to love this one too as an upgrade, I guess. And that segues into gameplay. I guess Chris will start off on that.
Well, I would say that as far as the gameplay, the biggest difference is that you're not Master Chief. So you don't have the shield.
Yep.
you have your stamina, and then once your stamina, get past that stamina threshold, then you get to take actual permanent damage, and then the only way to get your actual health back is to get medic aid or kit or whatever, first aid kit.
Health pack.
Health packs. That's a big difference from Halo, because Halo was like pretty much the forefather to regenerative shields. I mean, like that was the first game that had the whole regenerating health thing. To take that away is kind of a big deal. At the same time, it doesn't change the game that much. It still feels like a Halo game. The biggest thing though is you are much more vulnerable. You don't feel quite as big of a badass as you were when you were Master Chief.
Yeah, Master Chief in this this one.
Yeah, definitely. So you actually get scared with just like a small group of Covenant soldiers could take you out. You gotta be using cover a lot, sneaking around, picking your weapons, trying to get those headshots. Things
Yeah,
like
using
that.
grenades smartly.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta.